This is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the OTCQB Executive Forum at the OTC Marketplace in New York City. With me right now is Nick Blitterswyk from UGE, publicly traded company with the symbol UGEIF. Nick, welcome to SNNLive.
Thank you very much, Robert. Great to be here.
It's great to have you. So for our audience, let's start off with an overview of the company, and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, no, sounds good. So UGE is a commercial solar company. So what we're doing is we go to businesses and we say, for no money down, you don't need to do any of the work. We're going to put solar on your rooftop. We're going to sell you the energy those panels produce at a rate cheaper than what you're buying from the utility, and we'll take care of it all. So within UGE, we have the sales and marketing and development, engineering, procurement, construction. So we have all the platform to make that happen. And then when the project's completed, we then work with long-term financiers to own that project. And so we're very active in Canada, where we're number one. We're very active in the US, and we have a little bit of an international presence as well.
So tell me a little about the history of the company. Where did you start, and how did you get to where you're currently at today?
Yeah, so I'm Canadian by background, and so I was my last career I was an actuary, which is quite a change from what I'm doing now. But I was working in New York, and I think back to sort of the 2007-2009 timeframe. There was a lot of clean tech going on. There was a lot of growth in that sector, and I was looking at it and I was saying, if I'm a business and I want to go solar or go anything else, if I wanted to do something with renewable energy, I wasn't in a position to be able to choose which solar panel to go with or anything like that. And so I was saying, there's an opportunity here for UGE to come together as a solution company to package together the full package for these customers. And so the way that's evolved as the economics have improved so much over the years of solar is now we're simply an energy company. What we're doing is just packaging everything together to provide cheaper energy to our clients. And that's been an evolution over the last, I guess, about 7 years.
So let's talk about the business model a little bit again. You mentioned it in your opening, but I wanted to drill down. So you provide all the equipment for free, the installation for free?
That's correct. Yeah.
And then you sell them on the energy, right?
Exactly, yeah. So in essence, maybe one of our customers is paying 14 cents per kilowatt hour for the energy. We're going to sign a power purchase agreement with them at, say, 10 cents. So we're creating a revenue generating asset. And around the world, there's a huge need for long-term stable cash flows, and solar provides that. And at a much better IRR than the debt or bond markets. So we're creating revenue generating assets, and then working with these financiers, which are going to pay us. So if I think about it, say like a Whole Foods in Brooklyn, not far from where we are right now. So we did a project there. Say on average, one of our projects these days is about 500 kilowatts. To us, that generates about $1 million in revenue up front. So we'll generate about $1 million on that. Our target gross margin is about 23%. So we get $230,000 in gross margin on that. And we collect that over about a 6-month time frame. And then after that, they're going to be paying the financier for that energy generated. And the financier is going to continue to pay us to monitor the system or manage the system over time.
And is that different than maybe other models that are currently out there?
Yeah, so I would say probably your viewers are most familiar with like a Solar City. So Solar City is number one in the residential space. And the residential space, because rates are higher in the residential space, picked up sooner. So I look at a company like Solar City, they were growing at rates similar to how we've grown over the years, but starting earlier. And so now we're starting to pick up. I think we're the only pure play commercial solar company that's public in the US right now. But yeah, so that's sort of how people are familiar with that. We're not a manufacturer. We're not a solar panel manufacturer. We actually work with several manufacturers to whoever's most competitive on a certain project.
And then I also want to talk about sales a little bit. Where are you currently selling your product? Obviously Canada, US. Is there anything else?
Yeah, so Canada's been our number one market. US is going to vie for that, I think, in 2017. So US market's really picking up for us. We have a very active presence in the Philippines, and so we're expecting that market to grow for us quite quickly. Mostly working with multinationals and some national champions in that market. And then we also signed an exclusive agreement with JLL, formerly Jones Lang LaSalle, and that's the world's largest property manager. And so we have an arrangement with them in Asia to target some of their clients. And so we've won some RFPs through through that relationship and looking for that to start generating more revenue for us as well in 2017. So quite active in most of the major commercial solar markets around the world.
And what's the barrier to entry?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, no, good question. So at the end of the day, it's, we really consider ourselves a platform company. Within our company, we really have the opportunity to market to our clients, develop these projects. Like it's not just selling a product, it's really going through all the permitting and regulations to bring a project to life. And then the biggest group of people we have working for us are actually engineers, doing engineering and project management for these projects. And so we've built that up over time. We have a client list that includes Whole Foods, BMW, Bayer, etc. So it goes on and on from that perspective. So we're a market share driven company. We're number one in our Canadian market, looking to hopefully ascend to that position in the US market as well. Early markets like the Philippines, we think we could be number one as well.
Nick, what are some of the growth drivers for the business as well?
Yeah, so for us, we've been growing at rates like high double-digit rates for the last couple of years since this industry started making economic sense, and we're also like on a month-to-month basis. We had a target to get to cash flow positive this fall, and we're there, and looking for full-on profitability here in the next couple of quarters as well. So we're looking for our revenue to continue to ramp up, enter profitability, which is a really big milestone for us and for this industry. There's just not that many profitable companies as well. So, and then also we made one acquisition beginning of this year of a company, and looking as we consolidate our position to do that at a measured strategic pace as well.
And then another question on the target market. Are you also looking at municipalities as well?
Yeah, so this space, I typically break it down in very simple terms to say like residential. I use commercial as freehand. Let me come back to that. And then utility scale. Utility scale I consider to be like quite a bit larger. But the commercial space I consider to be commercial, industrial, governmental in many cases, education, these types of things. And so we're moving more and more up market as we go. So a couple years ago, when we first went public, our average deal size was in like the very low six figures, $100,000, $150,000. But as the economics have improved so rapidly, like we're talking 25% drops per year, as that's happened, the level of savings we're able to offer our customers expands. So the level of commitment they're willing to make expands. And so right now, our average commitment is probably about $1 million a project. And I think that it'll be 1 point something in 2017. So that can include municipalities, sometimes on a roof, sometimes on the ground as well.
And from what you can tell me, what are some of the goals and milestones for the company for the rest of 2016 going into 2017?
Yeah, in terms of our goals, it's growth, it's profitability. We had, at the beginning of 2016, we set out a 3-year strategic plan, which is available on our website. We said for this year, we really want to solidify the balance sheet, get to profitability, and we had a non-core asset we wanted to spin out. And so as we're sitting here in late 2016, all of a sudden, we've done that. We did a financing in June. We're at cash flow positive now, so we're generating cash, and we spun out that asset, which really helped clean up the balance sheet as well. So now going from there, we have a backlog that's about 5 times last year's revenue, and this is all sort of like 6 to 18 month revenue deployment schedules. So we're looking for 2017 to be a real landmark year for us in terms of size of the company, profitability as well.
So Nick, where can our audience go and find more information about UGE?
Yeah, so UGE, our website is UGEI, iforinternational.com. If you Google UGE, you'll quickly find us as well. We're also active on social media and the like as well.
My name is Robert Kraft, and I'm coming to you live on SNNLive, and we're at the OTCQB Executive Forum at the OTC Marketplace in New York City. With me again is Nick Blitterswyk from UGE, publicly traded company with the symbol UGEIF. Nick, thank you so much.
Thanks very much, Robert. Great to be here.